Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. If you can't beat them, bring them down with you. Today on rLounge, a little healthy competition never hurt anyone, but it can sure ruin a few people's lives. Friends spread rumors about me, so I exposed her cheating to her boyfriend. I'm 19 female and a second-year college student. I have a classmate. I can't call her friend after what she had done to me. Let's call her Shay. She and I were friends from the first week of college. We used to hang out together, have sleepovers at each other's place, and know every detail of each other's lives. We shared a common interest in movies and games, hence, we always got along well. There was one more thing in common between us. It was competitiveness. Shay and I both had a very competitive nature. It played in our favor in the first year because we both motivated each other to study hard. In the first semester of college, Shay secured the 3rd rank in the class, while I stood 4th. It didn't matter to me that much that I was behind her. I was happy to secure a place in the top 5. However, Shay was not happy to be behind 2 other students in the class. She pledged to top in the next semester. In the second semester, she further moved behind and got 4th rank while I secured 6th. I was a little disheartened because I wanted to be in the top 5. So this time, we both pledged to work hard together. So, in the second year, our sleepover movie night turned into a study night. Our place of hangout changed from a cafe to a library, and most of our conversation revolved around studies. I know it is going to get long, but the detail is important to determine what kind of situation I'm dealing with. When the 3rd semester results came out, she was shocked and broken. I stood 2nd while Shay secured the 3rd rank. She was disheartened because, for 2 reasons. She could not top the class. Second, her rank was behind me. She stopped all communication with me. I thought she was just upset because she didn't get top of class. It had almost become a ritual for her to mourn the results every time it was announced. So I left her to be as usual, thinking she would be fine after a few days. However, this time, it was almost 1 week after the result, but Shay did not talk to me. The college was closed during that time. She didn't reply to my text or answer my call, but she was hanging out with other friends. I saw in their stories. I know it sounds childish, but in the last 1.5 years of knowing each other, Shay and I have never done this to each other. We always go out together. We only preferred to go out with others when either of us was busy. But this time, she didn't even ask me to join. In fact, she was ignoring me. I called up the other friend who posted a picture of Shay and hers in the cafe. She told me that Shay had been distraught with the result. She's more disheartened because I ranked higher than her. I thought this friend was just trying to create distance between us by speaking evil about Shay, so I didn't indulge further. 2 weeks later, after the results, the classes resumed. When I entered the class, I saw Shay sitting with the class topper. We'll call him Tom. Tom has been the consistent class topper since the first semester. I smiled and waved at her, but she looked at me with a straight face. I went and sat on another bench alone. It was evident that she wanted to stay away from me. Gradually, I realized that the other friend might have told the truth. She secured a 3rd rank even in the first semester, but she didn't distance herself from me. So it was evident that she was angry because I secured a better rank than her. I felt bad for a few days because I considered Shay to be my best friend and never brought competition in between. My rank was behind her in the first 2 semesters, but I never kept a grudge against her. I'm just feeling so annoyed at her immaturity. She ruined our friendship just for the sake of a few marks. A college is a place where rumors spread faster than anywhere else. Within a few days, everyone noticed that Shay and I were sitting apart and ignoring each other. People were quick to make up a theory that it was due to the results. Everyone knew how competitive Shay was and how she used to sulk for days after every semester's results. A few of my classmates tried to speak to me regarding Shay. Everyone needs gossip, right? But I ignored it. I didn't want to fuel the gossip further. Gradually, I moved on and started hanging out with other friends. Both Shay and I tried to ignore each other as much as possible. In our 4th semester, we had a professor who was my older cousin's friend. I didn't know about it until he entered our class that day. He was new to the college. He instantly recognized me in the class but spoke to me. He was young and handsome. You know how students are. Everyone's eyeballs were fixated on me when he was speaking with me. After the class, most of the students came and asked me if I knew him. I told them that he was my cousin's friend and he had attended my cousin's wedding also. That's how we know each other. After that first interaction in the class, we never spoke again. He was just a professor, and I behaved as normally as a student would. After a few days of initial winks and smiles, my classmates also moved on. But there is someone who refuses to move on, and that is Shay. She has been spreading rumors that the professor and I are dating. She even went ahead to say that she had seen us making out in the college library. Heights of false news. I had ignored it until now, but it has reached the teacher's staff room. Yesterday after class, I told the professor I had some additional doubts I needed to clear out. He snapped at me saying that all the doubts should be cleared in the class and he was not going to entertain anything separately. I was shocked at his snappy behavior. I realized that he had been ignoring me for the last few days. I'm guessing the rumor has reached him, hence, he tried to avoid any conversation with me. The thing is, now I'm fed up with all this false gossip, and I'm being mentally traumatized. She is crossing all her limits to defame me. The other day, I overheard her saying to Tom, class topper, that she and him should capture the first 2 ranks and would not let others slip in. I'm diligent, but not as competitive as Shay. I won't mind slipping down a few ranks, but the thing is, as she secures better marks than me, then she's going to mock and taunt me to the extent that it would become insufferable for me. Our 4th semester exams are next week, and I'm just not able to concentrate on my studies. The rumor that I was making out with the professor has made me the gossip subject of the college. Even today, one of the professors indirectly taunted me that I should concentrate more on my studies than on the teachers. Isn't this humiliating? I wanted to place a rant out about that, which I'm definitely going to deal with her once the exams are over. People are right when they say that the friends turned enemies are the deadliest of their kind. Honestly, up until now, you haven't really wanted to entertain gossip, but if it ever comes up and you're talking to others, you should address the fact that it's false. It's not only hurting you, but it can hurt this professor and possibly cost him his career. At the same time, don't buy into the competitiveness between you and Shay. If you're going to study hard for yourself. Don't do it just to be better than someone else. Just do and be good for you. If you happen to get a higher rank or maintain where you are, then that's your business. And if that happens to bother Shay, then that's her problem, not yours. Update 1. Hi all, I'm now a final year student. I'm so excited to be the senior badge of the college. I have some interesting updates, so hang in there. My second year exams are over, and the results were also declared 2 weeks ago. Guess what? I was still able to hold my second rank. Tom is still the unbeatable topper. Neither do I intend to beat him. But, my dearest ex-friend Shay has slipped to 4th position. Do you realize how devastating it is for her? As per everyone's reports, she has been fuming with anger ever since the results were out, and she has come up with a new rumor about me. That is, the professor has leaked the exam questions to me beforehand, and that's how I was able to withhold my rank. She had even gone ahead to say that I was able to pass in all the previous semesters due to the professor. He had been leaking the questions to me. She doesn't realize people have stopped taking her seriously because even rumors should be believable. The professor joined our college only at the start of our second year, but I'm a good student right from the first year of college. Our classmates are acting like media journalists, hopping from one political party to another for their comments and then mocking them both. So I have absolutely stopped talking about Shay. Last week, the professor messaged me saying that he was sorry for being rude to me, but he had done it to clear off the rumor spreading in the college. He also said he heard the new rumors accusing him of leaking the paper to me. I said I knew about it. He insisted that I confront Shay about this and clear off the misunderstanding because it was also hampering his reputation. I respectfully declined his request because if I ever confronted Shay about this, she would manipulate the conversation and spread that I was pleading with her not to expose my secret to anyone. I told him it was just a matter of a year when we would leave the college, and then he could have a peaceful life here. The professor said that he was not in the mood to bear any more tantrums from Shay and would complain to the dean regarding her. But before doing so, he wanted to check with me if any open-hearted conversation would help solve the matter. I said that she was not in for it. She would blow up that conversation into another made-up story, so it is better to involve the authorities in this matter when we are not the ones who are wrong. Yesterday, the dean called for Shay in the middle of class. When the dean's assistant entered the class and asked Shay to follow him to the dean's cabin, she turned pale, and everyone smirked at each other, anticipating another wave of juicy gossip. Tom also turned red because he was Shay's new boyfriend. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also got to know, of course from others, that Shay and Tom are dating. I mean, they are a thing. She used to call Tom at her house, asking him to teach her before the exams, and that's how they started dating each other. Some also say that she is involved with one of the junior boys. I take all this gossip with a pinch of salt, but I'm betting the second one to be false. But you never know. After returning from college, I visited my cousin, the one who is Professor's friend. I gave him the hot gossip which was going around in the college. He said that the last time he met the professor, he did tell him that something of this sort was happening. We both had a good laugh. Then my cousin called the professor and asked him what had happened in the dean's office. The professor said he would come to my cousin's house later in the evening. My cousin and I waited patiently for him to arrive and give us the juicy gossip. He came in the evening and told us how the dean had taken Shay's class. He was not present inside the cabin during the conversation, but the assistant told him everything. The dean started off by politely asking if she had any evidence of the claims she was making. She turned into denial mode, saying she didn't understand what he was saying. He asked her directly if she thought that the professor was leaking questions to me. She denied it and said that she didn't know anything about it. The dean also asked if she suspected the professor was having an unacceptable relationship with any student. She denied that too, saying that she doesn't know anything about these. She further acted that it was so strange that she was being asked these questions because she didn't know anything about it. She started crying and said she was in college only for studies and didn't get involved in stupid gossip. Still, she was being questioned like a criminal. The dean informed Shay that prior to her, a few other students were also questioned separately, but they all claimed that she was the one who had spread those rumors against the professor. She kept denying it, saying that everyone was ganging up against her as they were envious of her grades. Really? Funny, yeah? She was given a warning that she should not malign others' reputations in the college. I was surprised to know that all these things were happening in the college. I asked the professor if it was true that the other students were also questioned. He said yes. When he complained to Dean that Shane's rumors were killing his reputation to the extent that he was being mentally tortured, Dean took it seriously and investigated the matter. But before jumping to the conclusion, he also interrogated several students of the class and other professors. The investigation concluded that it was Shay who was spreading the rumors because she was the one envious of my grades. We all had a hearty laugh after hearing the whole ordeal. What a stupid girl she is. I'll update you if anything develops. Here's a hard lesson for Shay, and if you're going to dish it out, you better be able to take the heat. Update 2. Hello peeps, I'm just about to be a college graduate. My final exams are just around the corner. This year has been extremely busy and equally fun. A lot has happened during that time, but I was juggling college and my summer internship, hence I could not make an update. For the people who commented in my post that they see something popping up between the professor and me, let me tell you that he is already engaged. His fiancée knows all of these stories. In fact, after the last meet at my brother's place, we had a couple of more hangouts where his fiancée also joined us. As I informed you in my earlier post, Tom and Shay were dating. The relationship cost Tom very badly. Let's see how. 6 months after those incidents, when the results of the 5th semester came out, guess who was the topper? Me! Yes. Tom slipped to 2nd while Shay remained at 4th. This time, there were no rumors. She had got the lesson of her life from the dean, hence, she did not say a word against me. Some of our classmates did go to her seeking some new gossip, but this time, she snapped at them. Apart from all these, I have a very amusing update. Our classes have been concluded to give us time for the final exams, so the final students are not going to the college, only the occasional visits to the library or for the projects. 2 weeks ago, I was in the college library to fetch some books. There I met one of my classmates who was also there for the books. While leaving the college, she suggested going for a smoke on the terrace. I don't know why we took the secluded stairs instead of the elevator, but I'm glad we took it. On the 3rd floor, we heard some whispers. At first, we both were scared and wanted to run away, but later we realized that someone was making out. I know it's evil, but curiosity got the better of us and sneaked into the corner from where the whispers were coming. We didn't see them, but we could hear them clearly since the college was empty at the time, and the echo was loud. We were not able to recognize the boy's voice, but you know who the girl was. It was Shay. She's making out with that junior boy, so the rumor that she was doing that with one of the junior boys was true. An idea clicked in my head and I started recording them. While making out, she also said how terribly she missed him and how awful Tom was in bed. The guy asked why she didn't break up with Tom. She said she wanted to distract Tom from his studies and, hence, was killing his time. She laughed, saying she even succeeded in distracting Tom, and the poor guy slipped to the 2nd position. The conversation was not smooth, with their moans in between, but I was able to figure out what she was saying. We left the place after a while. My friend even tried to sneak further inside to see what they were actually doing, but I pulled her out. I heard the recordings carefully several times and then realized that she was dating Tom just to distract him from his studies and was even successful in doing it. The next thing I did was send those recordings to Tom through a fake social media account. I could have done that through my original account as well, but he might not have believed it, and Shay would have labeled it to be a conspiracy since everyone knew about our enmity. Tom replied back, thanking me and asking for my identity. I said that I was just trying to help him expose his wicked girlfriend. A few days later, Tom posted that audio in the class group along with the chat messages of Shay where she was talking to that junior guy about destroying Tom's career by dating him. The friend who was with me that day understood that I shared that audio with Tom. After that, Tom messaged me on that fake account and thanked me again. I asked him how did he find out further. He said he accessed her phone when she visited his house for studies. He said that his mother also suspected Shay was just there to kill his time. She used to ask silly questions, explain the same concept over and over again, and make Tom do her projects and assignments. If all these were not enough, she insisted on watching Netflix during study hours and urged him to speak to her on the phone for hours. Tom was suspecting her motive due to all of these things. It seemed that her priorities had changed. Instead of focusing on her own progress, she was focused on pulling down others. After that revelation, Tom's mother called up Shay and gave her an earful lesson of her life. She also called up Shay's mother and told her about her daughter's truth. Yeah, I got to know all of these from Tom. He doesn't know my real identity, but I think he feels grateful to me for exposing Shay. His actions have already damaged Shay's reputation in the college. People consider her nothing but a clown who is running behind everyone to pull their legs. Everyone just despises her. Yesterday was our college farewell. It was one of the most memorable days for us. We all laughed, danced, and enjoyed our hearts out. But it was not true for Shay. In fact, she was the subject of most of the laughs and talks. People gave her cold shoulders. Some of the folks who spoke to her were also being sarcastic and mocking her while trying to squeeze in as much gossip as they could. Evil, I know, but that's how things are. She had dug her own grave. Tom was also very sweet to me at the party. Although he didn't know that I was the one who had sent the recordings, it was just a matter of some time before it was revealed. Thanks to the friend who was with me. No, I'm not looking forward to having anything with Tom. He and I have very different personalities. I'm not sure if Shay regrets her actions or not, but her narcissistic, self-centered attitude had taken her too low. For a moment, I felt bad to see her standing by herself while others hugged and danced together. Even in some of the group pictures, I didn't see her smiling. She left the farewell midway. I hope things get better for her on graduation day. People might move on, but I don't know. I know I might be sounding saint, but I'm not. I know people would comment that I exposed her to get back at her. Maybe I did, but my underlying intention was to expose her to Tom, if not to the whole class. I would have never thought of sharing those recordings in the class group, but I did feel sheepishly happy when Tom did. See, I told you I'm no saint. Anyway, I have exams coming up. Wish me luck, and thanks for hearing me out. Ah, yes, she was her own great demise. She just couldn't help herself, could she? It's not surprising that she dated Tom purely for her selfish, evil ways. After all, she was capable of creating such tremendous lies. She saw her in with Tom and took it. It's amazing the lengths people will go to get ahead. Or, if they can't get ahead, they want to sink the ship with everyone in it. If she couldn't be first, no one could. What a sad life to lead. There's nothing wrong with some healthy competition, but Shay just took it to a whole other level. Shay got what was coming to her. The reality is, she'll never be number one. Do you know a person like Shay? Share your stories with us in the comments below. And thank you for following along today. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to share regarding today's content, we want to hear it. See you soon in the rLounge.